Hey guys, welcome back. It's Friday morning, and we're here to answer your questions. We have Karen in the building here. Just turn off that music there. So
That was smooth.
that was good, Karen. That was
smooth.
really good. You did that on purpose.
I did.
So today we're gonna just do something a little
What
bit.
are we going to do today?
We're gonna do the same thing we did last time, but even better.
Better.
Yeah, we
Same
have
but
some
different.
really good answers for your questions. As soon as we figure out what they are.
We've been rehearsing them all week.
Yeah, and also, just to let you know, just ask like one question, because I really can't get the whole history, and because I don't have
And
time
all your
to
lab
get,
numbers
because
and
there's so many questions. So just like a real quick question, that would be wonderful.
Your most important
'cause
burning question.
Or I might have to cut you off a little bit. Also, anything that we say is not meant to diagnose you. It's just meant for you to do research with the help of your doctor, so you can come up with your own conclusions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So we're going to go right to Sean from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Are you there, Sean?
Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, excellent. Okay, God richly bless both of you. Just real quick, I'll explain the situation. I was on keto for a few years, worked great once a week, gluten, everything, even still the weight dropped off, but I was intermittent fasting and keto, worked wonderfully. I got Hashimoto's a couple years ago. Now, nothing seems to work, keto, intermittent fasting, nothing. Now, an important note, I've had loose floating stool for years, actually right around that time I got Hashimoto's, but no other gallbladder problems, no pains, etc. I've tried your gallbladder pills, just tinker around once, tinker around one while I had meals, didn't seem to help. Tried HCl, digestive enzymes, maybe didn't do it correctly. Pancreas is normal size, did lipid profile, nothing can be seen off. What might I try next? Because I've tried just basically everything I could think of.
Yeah. Okay. Question I have for you: How frequent is your meal? Like, how often do you do like your intermittent fasting for?
I tried doing one meal a day. I didn't see any major changes on the scale, though.
Okay. Are you tired during the day?
Yeah, I can be. I can be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to give you a couple tips. I have a video on this. I may have a video on this, I think. But really what's happening is you got to look at Hashimoto's. It's not really a thyroid problem. It's an autoimmune, it's an immune problem of the whole body. It just happens to be attacking the thyroid. And the problem with that is it's producing a lot of what's called hydrogen peroxide. That stuff that you clean your wounds for, that's kind of dumping out there. So you have a lot of hydrogen peroxide going on in the body. And that acts as a major, like kind of a free radical oxidant that destroys the tissues and it creates havoc. So I think you should, couple things. One is you should take higher amounts of vitamin B1 and your energy will start coming up. B1 actually acts as an antioxidant in the body, in the mitochondria, so it'll actually start protecting the mitochondria from all the hydrogen peroxide damage. So you want to do that, but also take nutritional yeast as a balance to make sure you get all of your things. I would probably take some concentrated cruciferous type foods because you want to build up your glutathione to actually build up the immune system. It's really the immune problem. So if we're talking about immune system, we're looking at two things. One is hardcore intermittent fasting over a long period of time. Make sure you have selenium. Make sure you have a lot of B1. But the other factor that really comes, and we're going to talk about this at the summit pretty hardcore, but there is always, 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 always something that occurs right before you get an autoimmune. There's a stress situation. It's just something that happens that triggers the whole thing. So whatever that trigger was, I would focus and try to improve that if it's still going on, if it's a stress-related thing, and try to undo that. It could be environmental stress from another person or relationship or whatever. So I would deal with that as a really important factor. And then there was actually one more thing that just totally completely went, I was just going to tell you, and it's gone, but it'd probably come back. So I would focus on those things right now, and I think with the B1, your energy will come up. And oh, yes, the digestive system, if you have loose stool, that's going to deplete a lot of electrolytes and electrolyte imbalance, which could then actually keep you from getting better. So I would definitely dump in more sodium, salts, electrolytes, and try to reestablish your flora using something called effective microbes. There is something I'm going to be coming up with probably in about 2 weeks. You can take that or just try to research it. But that's pretty much what I would do. I gave you a lot of data, so go ahead and digest that and see if you could get some help. Thanks for your question. All right, Karen, what do we have coming in?
Oh my gosh, it's flooding in this morning, but May is asking on YouTube. She says she's lost 100 pounds since last October.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, May. That's incredible. And she's doing keto and IF, and she wants to know, can she start more intense workouts?
I would if I were you. I think what happens, you have people that always rely on workouts like, oh, I'm just going to work out, eat what I want. They're only going to, I see them at the gym. They're the guys that are working out, they got a gut that never goes away. So if you actually combine them and do keto and IF and workouts, you're going to spike up your growth hormone to the next level and beyond. So that'll start to help toning to make sure you don't lose your muscles. So you want to retain them, especially if you're getting to the age of 35 or older.
I wonder what that's like.
I don't know. We don't have a clue what that's like.
I remember when I thought that was so old.
Well, we're 29, aren't we?
No, I mean when you're little, and you're like,
oh right,
my cousin, she's 35.
Oh,
she's
I remember
really
my grandfather hit like 50, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's like
How
that's
are they
retirement.
still breathing, right?
I know. It's crazy.
Okay.
So that was the question.
That was the question.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So now I am going.
Let me know. Are you going to take a call, or you
I
want
want to
another?
take a call from Lisa in Orlando, Florida. This is a question. Are you there, Lisa?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Hi.
My question would be, I'm doing intermittent fasting once a day now. I had spoken to you about 2 weeks ago, and I had my blood pressure was pretty high. I got it down now to 139. It was up in the 300s. It went down to 160. Now it's about 140. And I wanted to know, I am on one meal now for the last, let's say, less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that continually? I should just stay on it? And you told me take one meal, walk long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, the one meal, do I stay with the one meal?
How old are you?
How long? Oh, I am 60. Terrible, but true.
60? Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, and
terrible?
question I have for you is, do you feel good? Do you feel energetic?
Actually, I really do. I've been feeling really good. And the one meal, I was really surprised. I just didn't think I was going to be able to do this because I am Italian. And I thought and it's working. I'm feeling energized. But one strange thing is happening. And I don't know if it's because I just wake up early in the morning. And then by the time I eat that one meal, a big salad of spinach leaves, and I put a bunch of things in it and put some nuts and everything. And it's a wonderful salad with balsamic, and I enjoy it. And after I finish eating it with a piece of fish, and it's almost like I get a wave of being tired. And it just started happening. But today I don't feel that way. I don't know if it's because I was doing the intermittent fasting, the one meal a day.
Okay,
But
so the fact
again,
that you had high blood pressure tells me you probably had some insulin resistance going on in the background, but it's getting better, so the blood sugar is getting better. You're not completely 100% out of the woods, but it's happening. I would give it more time. Listen, that one meal a day has gotten you in a good place now. You're feeling good. Don't change it. It's working. Keep going. Ride the wave. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't need as much food as they think, especially if they're getting over the age of 35. So, thank you for your question, Lisa. All right, good. So, Karen, what do we have?
So you keep mentioning this age of 35. Is that like the cutoff point, and then we're just going downhill?
I'm being one of those sarcastic type comments.
Going downhill after
instead
35.
Of saying,
that's it.
As people get older,
enjoy it now.
What happens when people get older? They, when they get in their 50s, older, they basically don't need to eat 6 meals a day anymore. I mean, this is like so much food because there's not as active, that type of thing. So I was just being
But that's
little
generalization, isn't it? I think I'm way more active now than I was when I was, it was a different kind of active. running a business and having toddlers and all of that, you're busy in like oh my gosh, where did that one go?
Well,
I need a third hand kind of busy, but I mean, other than maybe the last 2 weeks, I have physically been more active in the last few years.
But the question is, do you feel you need 3 meals a day?
No, sometimes I want to eat because it looks good.
But you can get away with 1 meal very easily. I mean, you rarely are hungry. I mean, you are hungry, but you can go a long period of time.
I can't. And my body loves 1 meal a day. I like food.
Right.
So I would be happy to eat twice a day. And sometimes I do.
But just not have it go into your stomach.
No, that's terrible.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay, good.
We'll talk about that on Karen's Corner.
I think, yeah, okay. All right.
My new YouTube station.
Yes.
Is not happening.
Not happening? Okay.
No, but let's get to some questions here because
Yes.
we have these guys on social media and they got a lot of questions. So first, Karen on Facebook wants to know, so you say no beans,
Right.
right? So what about sprouts? Can you have sprouts from anything, a bean, or does it have to be like a broccoli sprout?
No, you can do the sprouts. Sprouts are really good because they basically have this unbelievable amount of nutrient-dense thing going on because the peak nutrition with phytonutrients happens right when they sprout.
Okay, what's a phytonutrient?
Phytonutrient is a plant-based chemical that has additional benefits other than the vitamins and minerals. It has, properties of antioxidants, it has properties of things that will improve your health, Karen. Would you like that answer?
So, Karen, yes on the sprouts. Go for it.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Unlimited sprouts, yeah. Put them in your salad. I think they're awesome. Enzymes, the whole thing.
Good. Now, I'm sure there's a question here somewhere. It comes up every week, but since you're talking about it,
Yeah.
so what about counting these carbs on vegetables? Can I literally eat an unlimited amount of vegetables and not consider the carbs in those vegetables?
I know there's a lot of people that get fat out of eating too many salads, but no, salads and vegetables
Note the sarcasm.
are basically mostly fiber and nutrients. Even though they're carbs, the fiber is a carb, and it's not going to break down the sugar. Salads are not sweet, so we're not going to even count them as part of your carbs. They're food for your microbes, basically, and the microbes thank you, and then it exchanges a friendly acid that then actually lowers insulin, and everyone's happy. It's an exchange.
Good. So when we're talking about counting the carbs,
Yeah.
So what about nuts? Are we counting those carbs?
Yes, we're talking. Yeah, counting.
Okay.
the
What
carbs.
about butter?
No, butter does. It's a fat. It doesn't have any carbs.
Okay. What about? What
Hummus?
else are we
Hummus?
talking about?
Hummus.
Oh, hummus.
Berries.
Berries have carbs. You got to count those.
Dairy. Anything that you eat, like even.
French toast.
Yes, Karen.
Not my French toast.
Yes. Almond flour. All these things. Peanut butter. All this stuff has a little bit of carb. So yeah.
Okay, good. So
Okay.
those are the carbs we're counting, not the veggies.
That's correct.
Don't worry
Karen.
about the veggies.
No. And even. Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
What?
I'm not going to. No, never mind.
What?
I'm going to go to Carla. Carla's been from Ohio. She has a question. Are you there, Carla?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. What was your question?
Hi.
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 Yes, I had a female problem I had to go to the gynecologist about, and it's like a acne. It's inflammation, they say, that was caused by a sweat gland. And he told me that I'd have to be on an antibiotic for the rest of my life, and I was thinking all along to myself, oh no, there's no way I'm going to be on an antibiotic. No one should be on an antibiotic the rest of their life. So I was wondering what you would suggest for me to do that would help this issue.
I have a question. Are you doing any intermittent fasting yet?
I just started.
Okay.
What's today? I think Wednesday.
Okay. So Carla, I really
Wednesday.
think that if you do the intermittent fasting, your skin is going to look amazing. It's the best thing for acne, cystic acne, any type of acne. I used to have really bad acne in high school. If I would have known about that, it would have been saved a lot of grief and stress because it's like acne for any age is just terrible. So Now, if you have it monthly, it's related to your menstrual cycle, in which case you want to take something called DIM, which is a concentrated cruciferous. And you can look on my website. I have some data on that more in depth. But the point is that you want to do intermittent fasting. You want to cut your carbs down. Your skin will be amazing. If you have cysts, for example, those will improve too. Also, some sea kelp will also help if you have like a Baker cyst, but I doubt if that's what you have. But just do intermittent fasting and watch how your skin just like really just clears right up, Carla. All right, thanks for your question. Hey, Denise, you're from Maryland, right? Are you there?
Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Massachusetts.
Okay, great.
My question is, with supplements, even if they're whole food supplements, it was my understanding that taken through digestion, through the gut, only 30 to 40% of that vitamin or supplement is really absorbed into your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm. Good question. Here's the thing. The absorption really depends on a couple things. You have the stomach acid. If the stomach acid is weak, you're not going to absorb even that, especially minerals. And even it's not going to activate another part of your body, which releases the bile from the gallbladder. If you don't have enough bile, you just shut off your absorption of vitamin A, D, E, and K. And then if your pancreas is stressed, you don't have the enzymes to break down things. And if you don't have the microbes, you won't be able to recycle the bile. So if you have a really good digestive system, and I have a lot of videos on that, your absorption of vitamins will go sky high, and you will absorb, if they're food-based, close to 100%. You're not wasting them. Your body's very efficient with that. If you're taking synthetics, it's a whole different thing. But I'm glad that you're focusing on food-based. But the real key is making sure you have enough stomach acid. Take your apple cider vinegar. Make sure you have enough bile. Follow the diet that I recommend to maximize the bile reserve. And I think you'll be able to absorb a lot more. But you need all those systems in place. If you're coming to the summit, by the way, we are going to be talking about absorption of nutrients. And one last point, Denise, if you have insulin resistance, that alone, it doesn't matter how much nutrition you take, that cell is not going to allow protein to go in, vitamins, vitamin C, it's not going to go in. So there's a lot of factors on absorption. In fact, you just inspired me to do a video just on absorption. I think that'll be a comprehensive, I can talk about that a little bit more. Thanks, Denise.
My turn.
All right, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to take a lot of questions here for these guys.
Okay.
Okay, good. So first, Greg is saying he's not overweight, but would keto and IF benefit him? He feels he still might be insulin resistant. For some reason, he didn't say why. And also, if he's not overweight, would he benefit from the adrenal kit?
Yeah, if he has adrenal symptoms, that's what it's for. It's not just for weight loss. It's going to support the adrenal, so that would help you. But yeah, you don't want to just do this for weight loss. There's so many health benefits, and this is a really big factor, because if people lose weight, they may or may not get healthy or feel healthy. Right. Usually they're tired. I don't even like to have people focus on weight. Like, focus on if you have the health symptoms, and that would be energy, decreasing stress, having glowing skin, your hair's not falling out, your digestion's working, like all these factors, like look at that. So when you're doing keto and IF, oh my gosh, like everyone should do it. It's not just for people that are overweight. I would recommend it. How about you?
I would too. Okay, good.
All right.
So now here's some more. Oh, by the way, Wallace is watching. He lost 30 pounds in 5 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's awesome. Okay, good. Now, what? You told me to do that. I know. Okay, so somebody, you mentioned about beans. So there's a few comments. Hey, what's up with beans? So in the book, I think you mentioned beans are okay. You can eat an unlimited amount. You mean string beans.
No, green beans.
Right.
Green
Clarify
beans.
the beans that are the thumbs down on keto.
String beans, green beans.
No, down. Thumbs down. What can't you?
All the other legumes and beans.
Legumes.
Like even the kidney beans. I just don't recommend them. I know people are going to object and go, no, I need my beans. But the point is that
I need my beans.
It's not part of a keto because there's too many carbohydrates. Now, I know some people are going to say, no, they're high in protein. Well, I mean, I'd like to look at the nutritional facts. Look at how many carbohydrates, look how much protein. The protein is low, high on carbs, is starchy. But of course, there are going to be people who disagree with that.
Right, and the other thing is, like, if you go ahead and you do keto and IF and you're eating beans, are you achieving your goals? Because there's a lot of people who say,
Right.
well, I'm doing everything. I'm doing keto. I'm eating a lot of vegetables, but they're eating beans. Or
I'm just going to
something like
recommend if you do it and it works, great. If you do and it doesn't work, then I'm going to say I told you so. But I mean, the only beans that I would recommend are the canned beans, right? That you would get from the Hormel chili. No, I'm just kidding. Now, that's a college food.
Hormel chili. I didn't eat Hormel
Oh,
chili
I lived
in
on that
college.
stuff.
I ate ramen noodles.
On chips
MSG.
with cheese.
I would be paralyzed for half an hour in my bed.
Yeah, that was
My
bad.
heart
That was
pounding.
so bad.
Okay, another question.
Okay.
Judy is asking, her dad was just diagnosed with Parkinson's. Do you have any opinions or recommendations? And I know we have a really great story about that. So,
Yeah.
good friend of ours.
Here's what I would research with the help of your doctor or their doctor. I would definitely put them on keto and IF, hardcore, prolonged fasting, hint, hint. And then also
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
the B vitamin, benfotiamine, in high amounts. Very, very important. Yeah, the same protocol for Alzheimer's. I mean, and then see what happens. It's quite amazing. There is going to be, Amy Berger is coming to the event, the summit in October, which is in 3 weeks. She's going to be doing a whole presentation on Alzheimer's and also Parkinson's and the brain, and how keto relates to it. If you can come, that would be great. I think this is exciting to research, because think about it. When you do IF, literally it's like miracle grow for your brain. Your brain starts to grow. You get new brain cells. And who couldn't deal with some more new brain cells,
I
right?
could use a few more.
I know. I mean, it's incredible. Like growing your brain. They always say like, oh no, you're stuck with it. You can't grow your brain. No, you can get a new brain. Some people need a new brain.
How come you look at me when you say that?
I was looking over there, Karen, in the distance.
Look right at me.
There's some people
Some
over there
people.
in the distance.
Some people could use a new brain, Karen. Okay, good. Bob asks, can you take too much potassium?
Yeah, but it's hard to take too much potassium, because it's like they're in 99 milligrams. Here's the thing about potassium, Karen.
Yes.
Potassium is not like sodium. Your body doesn't retain it. Now, I'm not talking about the person with kidney damage and kidney dialysis. Those people cannot do high potassium. We're not talking about those people. That's rare. Talk about the average person. Your body needs like so much, because it actually gets rid of a lot, especially if you have stress, especially if you consume sugar and carbs. You're dumping a lot of potassium. So sodium, on the other hand, is retained. So you need a lot more. So you need heavy amounts of potassium, a little bit of sodium in relationship, like 4-to-1 ratio. But I wouldn't worry about overdoing it. I would worry about underdoing it. Now, when you get a test, make sure they check your intracellular, because most of the potassium is inside the cell, not in your blood. So you're not going to be able to get the whole picture. But I do have a lot of videos on potassium.
Okay.
All right. Was that your last question for a while?
For a little bit. Well, you know what else we wanted to mention?
What?
I don't know, because our cleaning lady, Yolanda, has a fan club now.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys knew that. But she just told me this morning she lost 15 pounds.
We should have her on.
I know,
probably
we
will.
should have her. We should have her on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Noreen from St. Cloud, Florida. You had a question. Are you there?
I'm here. Hi,
Hi.
Dr. Berg.
How are you?
Hi, Karen. How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
Okay, so my name is Noreen. I'm 56 years old. I was weighing 200 pounds. I am now at 188.
Woo!
Wow.
Yes, and I want to keep going up to maybe 150.
Okay.
But I have been, Dr. Berg, I really need your help. I'm begging you. I have been very, very sick since 2013. I was hospitalized with almost liver failure. Hepatitis C was my issue there, and my gallbladder took a hit, and it was working 30% back then. So ever since then, I have changed my diet, but I really was not in tune with with all what diet was all about until, I thought that drinking organic carrot juice and organic aloe vera juice and, coconut water and all that was going to help me. And my insulin level went all the way really high. I've gained weight back then. And so I started watching your shows. I went to the doctor, found my insulin level was very high, cholesterol was very high, vitamin D is very low. So I went and got your raw wheat grass juice, which I love it. I got omega, super critical omega. I also got I took your apple cider vinegar. I drink that every day. I've also purchased this magnesium plus, which has a lot of vitamins and also has potassium in it.
And then what was your quick question? What was your quick question again?
My quick question is that I just got your gallbladder formula.
Okay.
Because I've been very, very bloated. And I took it this morning for the first time, and I feel more bloated. And it goes all the way from the one side of the gallbladder all the way to the other side, where through the transverse column.
Okay, so let me kind of give you some suggestion on that. It sounds like if you had liver damage, you need some bowel support, but I think you also have to acidify the stomach a little bit more. You're taking the apple cider vinegar. I think you said you're taking my product. It's called Digested Formula. You want to take a lot more of that. You want to take like 4, even 5 with a meal, and then wait until the very end, and then take the gallbladder formula 1. And you might have to build up to that, to the point where you might have to work on the stomach for a while and then add the bile, because see, bile is alkaline. So when you take bile, if you don't have an acid stomach, it kind of dilutes it and you won't get the effect. So you want to get that stomach working, then add it at the end. So you take the acid before the meal and the gallbladder after the meal. Very, very important. I think you're going to be on the right track on what you're doing with what you had, like hardcore intermittent fasting, healthy keto, adding a lot of leafy greens, and just give it some time. And I think you're eventually going to come out of this really good. The low vitamin D will improve after your bile reserve starts building up. Don't forget to work on your gut. But yeah, I think you're in the healing mode now, Noreen, and I think that just give it more time, and I think you're going to improve. Thanks for your call. All right, over to you.
My turn?
Over to you.
Okay. So I'm going to throw a few at you.
Okay, good.
Someone wants to know about keto during nursing.
Okay.
Perimenopausal keto.
Okay, one at a time? One at a time?
When I was 2 years old.
Yeah, right. I thought when you were 6 years old. Okay, so keto when you're nursing, absolutely. Healthy keto is a good time to do it anywhere. The only thing you don't want to do is like any hardcore intermittent fasting when you're nursing. I mean, I think 3 meals, really good meals, are going to be fine. And just make sure the milk production is good. If you want to increase the milk production, brewer's yeast or nutritional yeast will do it. You can make them into keto-friendly cookies. I think I have a video on that. If I don't, we'll create one because we need to make some of those cookies.
Keto-friendly cookies.
Keto-friendly cookies with nutritional yeast or brewer's yeast. Okay. They're lactation cookies, Karen, for Jordy. We're going to make those.
I will not have those.
Right.
Someone did ask, what's the difference between those yeasts and like baking yeast?
Well, you got baker's yeast that you make alcohol with, and then you have
bread.
Yeah. So we're not talking about that type of yeast. Okay. Yeah. We're talking about nutritional yeast, completely different.
And the difference between brewers and nutritional?
They're very similar, but the byproduct of making brewer's yeast, but some people are taking that and they're fine with it. There's higher quality brands, but it's a little different taste. It's slightly different strains, but I think you can go either way. Okay, so that handles the nursing question. What was the other question?
Perimenopausal keto.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to do it if you're perimenopause, postmenopause, during menopause.
Any menopause. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Tell them.
Pretty much, I've been eating keto for a long time. not intermittent fasting. It's been more in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But eating keto for a very long time, I had not one symptom during menopause.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't think you. Yeah.
I kind of didn't even know was it happening.
Yeah.
I didn't have a single hot flash. Whatever the other symptoms are, I didn't have anything.
That's right. That's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
There you go.
There are ways to minimize that experience.
There is.
Okay, good. So Kathy is saying she's been on keto for 3 months, but ever since she's been on keto, she's been having diarrhea.
Okay, so that really relates to the fiber and the vegetables. I have a video on this. I have several. You're going to have to change your vegetables and actually reduce the amount of vegetables right now. And that's going to help reestablish the flora in your gut. Blackberries and Kefir plain, if you blend it up in a shake, that usually handles the diarrhea. But here's the danger with diarrhea and intermittent fasting. Those electrolytes that are lost through the bowel, and then you do intermittent fasting, you can feel very, very dizzy and weak. So you better start adding more sea salt and potassium and high quality electrolytes, not like some other ones that you'd buy at the store. Like you want a high
Berg
quality
electrolytes.
Yeah, you want
not mince words.
High quality electrolyte formula or else you're gonna because the heart needs those electrolytes. So just adjust the vegetables and maybe have a little fermented, have less, reestablish it, and then build it back up.
Or lightly steamed.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Now another thing too that I'm thinking of is if you're doing keto and you're adding a lot of like MCT oil.
Right.
That can also do it.
That's right. So if you're doing MCT, go very, very small amounts, like maybe a half a teaspoon for like 3 or 4 days, and then slowly build it up over time so you can tolerate it. But the benefit of MCT oil in your coffee or something is good to turn into fat. It doesn't work through the gallbladder or the liver. I mean, it bypasses the whole system. So it's easier for your body to turn into energy and ketones. So it's good for the brain. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. So now we want to go to Ian from United Kingdom. You had a question. Go ahead, Ian.
Hi there, Dr. Berg. I'm on 1 meal a day, and I've gone from 3 meals a day to, well, I actually didn't really have 3 meals a day. I was 2 meals a day. But I went from 2 meals a day, and now I'm on 1 meal a day. And the two problems I've got is that I'm still getting like hungry in the morning, which is a bit weird. And I'm also getting a bit like lightheaded. I think directly after, when I got the hunger pains are gone, then just a little bit afterwards, then I'm getting like dizziness and stuff like that. And it's only happened in the past week or so that this has happened.
Okay, so here's a couple things you need to realize. In the morning, exactly about 8 o'clock in the morning, a.m., you have a spike of cortisol. That will elevate and mess with your blood sugars, okay, because it's going to turn things into sugar. You might actually make more sugar in your body, just temporarily for that hour. So you might have this, like all of a sudden, like at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, now I'm hungry, and then it passes, okay? And then you might have the stomach pains, and then it kind of goes away. I think what I would do as the first step is take sea salt, okay? Because that usually will handle the dizziness. If it doesn't, then you need vitamin B1, because B1 in the base of nutritional yeast will greatly help your autonomic nervous system, and that will actually really help dizziness. Now, there is also a situation too where when you adapt from 2 meals to 1, you might not be ready, and you might have to go into it gradually. You know, there's always this confusion about when to go, what pattern to do, when to eat, what should I do. I would let your own body determine that pattern. Let your body, well, you know, if I'm not hungry, I'm going to go as long as I can. I'm hungry, really hungry, I'm going to eat. So don't think it has to be some strict thing and cram yourself into a pattern. Let your body tell you what to do. But here's the thing you want to define is are you really hungry, for majorly, or do you just have some rumbling in your stomach? Because there's a difference between really hungry and I got to eat versus, oh, I'm slightly hungry, I can keep going, because your body's just getting used to it. All right, so that's what I would recommend. That's what I'm saying, Karen, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, good.
All right. So do you want to ask a question?
Yeah. Probiotics, there's
Yeah.
an idea that some probiotics, if you take them, will be destroyed in the gut before they give a benefit.
That's absolutely true. A lot of probiotics are destroyed in the stomach acid because that's what kills them. We're going to bring back that original probiotic that we had because people were like, where's that? Because we had a really good one. It's a liquid. It's a non-dairy. And the cool thing is it's not destroyed at the stomach level. These microbes are a little bit different in that they can survive stomach acid. So a lot of our friendly bacteria do not die off with acid. In fact, that's why even the lactic acid that's produced is there to kill the pathogens, the unfriendly, but our own host bacteria can go, hey, we can survive that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so when you take yogurt, for example, and think you're getting any real major benefit from a probiotic, very little, because it gets killed in the stomach, in case you wanted to know that.
Okay, good. Well, we should have that up and running in a month.
Probably in 2 weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. All right. So I'm going to take another question.
Okay.
Shay from District Heights, Maryland had a question. Go ahead, Shay.
Hi, Dr. Berg.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
You sound familiar.
Have we spoken to you
my
before?
question. No, this is actually my first time calling.
Okay.
What do you know? Your voice sounds
Okay,
familiar.
I love what goes on between you two. I just want to say that. Okay, I listened to a channel with a Dr. Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
He said that if you stay on keto or low carbs for longer than 2 to 3 months, it will completely destroy your thyroid. Now, I'm new to this. I'm doing my research. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do, but that totally threw me. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because you realize this, anyone can say anything about anything. And it's kind of, it could be a total lie, and it's like you got to is that true or false? Listen, as you listen to the show, we have hundreds of thousands of people that have been doing this for a lot more than 2 to 3 months, and their thyroids are fine. The thyroid is not affected when you're doing healthy ketosis, and this is what I recommend is healthy ketosis. Now, there's a difference between healthy ketosis and what's called classical ketosis. Now, what is classical ketosis? That was developed way back for kids for epilepsy, and if you look at the ingredients, it's very low quality ingredients. I'm not going to even comment on what that could do to your body, but the type of diet we're recommending is healthy ketosis, getting all your nutrients. It'll actually improve the endocrine system greatly. So if you ever wanted to just contact that doctor and say, oh, can you show me the studies and where that you have this information? And they're going to give you a source, which is based on classical ketosis, maybe, but not healthy ketosis, because there is no study on that, or else they won't even find a source. So guys, anytime you hear anything kind of crazy like that, before you accept it as truth, ask for the source, you read it yourself, see if it's true or false. And that's why I recommend people just do this, get the results, so you know and you don't have to buy into this crap because it's just lies.
But it's great that you're doing your research.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Shay.
Yeah.
All right, Karen.
Okay.
I started getting a little heated on that question.
You got a little bee in your bonnet on that one.
Exactly. Okay, good. Do you have a question?
Okay, good. Yeah. There's so many, just as a note, so many of these questions are answered on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of sifting through, trying to see which ones have we answered 100 times. But no, say something interesting while I look.
Okay, good. Hey, May Chalet from Texas. I probably totally chopped your name, but you had a question.
I believe that's me, and it's Michaela.
Michaela! I'm sorry, Michaela. Just welcome to our world with Dr. Berg. It could be anything on any given day. He's brilliant, and,
I'm just gonna call it,
Smith could be Semite. You know? Yeah. It can happen.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I had a question. I am 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I had babies from the time I was 21 to the time I was 26, and I had 4.
Good job.
I was just recently diagnosed with a gallstone about 8 millimeters, and I have high liver enzymes. I also have a family history of gallbladder issues. My mom had hers removed. She had cysts and gallstones, and my grandmother had a porcelain gallbladder, sorry. And so I'm trying pretty much every supplement that Dr. Berg sells. I have the adrenal, the gallbladder, the nutritional yeast, the cruciferous veggies. The digestive one actually burned, and when I take apple cider vinegar, I get heartburn really bad. I was actually looking at getting the estrogen one, the Seek Help, and the one of the other ones, the juice, the wheatgrass juice, next month as well to add on top of that, because we also have a family history of thyroid issues and Hashimoto's.
Wow.
So I kind of want to cover all my bases, and I feel like I have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so yeah, it's hard to find good relatives nowadays just to have good genetics. But here's the thing that I would recommend. I think you're on the right track. I can't give you any medical advice, but I will say that the area to research is the deeper cause. Even though if there's a genetic tendency, there are some definite things that cause gallstones. And it's the number one thing, it's insulin, high insulin. So if you focus on lowering insulin, healthy keto and intermittent fasting especially, and you take a little bile salts over time, and probably take a little choline, hint, hint, to help the liver too. That will help dissolve like the cholesterol plaquing thing, because these stones are mainly cholesterol stones, and they have a little calcium in them, but it's what keeps them dissolved is the bile. Now, the fact that you have irritation in the stomach is a huge clue. It tells me that there's probably you probably started out having low stomach acids, and now you have gastritis or inflammation in the stomach, and that's what the problem. And so if you don't have enough acid, you can't release the bile, and so that's what you're running up against. So I would keep taking those things, but I think what I would do is not take the apple cider vinegar right now. Instead, I would take the wheatgrass juice to help heal the system for a period of probably months. And then I want to have you recheck with your doctor with an ultrasound maybe in 2 or 3 months from now to see if it's shrinking. A very good probiotic would be very essential for you, because I think what's happening is you don't have enough flora in the gut to help you recycle bile. And so bile is recycled 4 to 12 times in a given day. And that's a lot. And 95% of it is recycled. So but it's recycled by the microbes. So if you don't have the microbes, you can't recycle it, you lose bile, and then you get gallstones. And that's probably what you probably ate what your mom ate, and then your mom ate what your grandparents ate. So it's probably not genetic, it's probably just, an eating issue. But I think you're on the right track. And what were you going to say now?
Well, first of all, I was going to say that exactly, that a lot of people that say, oh, it runs in my family, the family has a history of eating the exact same way
patterns, yeah,
over the generations. But the other thing is, actually, and I don't know if she's still on the call, but are you eating keto and IF? Are you doing keto and IF?
Are you doing keto?
I'm doing low carb. I'm doing low carb and about 15 to 16 hour fasts every day.
Okay.
And only 3 meals.
Okay. So just over time, start kind of get closer and closer to what I'm recommending with the keto, with all the vegetables and things, and the healthy keto, and then try to start pushing your intermittent fasting longer and longer as your body can handle it. And I think that's what I would do to improve it over time. A lot of times we look at this ultimate solution to fix a problem, but sometimes these problems are fixed on a gradual basis over time, because you might not be able to, you handle one thing and then you try to improve it, and then eventually it's handled over a year or so. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm. And what about gallbladder flushing?
Yeah, I have a really good video on that. Just type gallbladder flushing. That's a manual technique. We'll be talking about that at the summit, Karen. So, so do those things, okay? Thanks for calling.
Okay, well, that was a good call. Now, I've gotten about 30 people asking about plateau. So there you go. Have at it. Plateauing on keto and IF.
What, standing on a plateau? Yeah, I like to stand on plateaus too and look over a building. That's fun. Is that what you want to know?
Something that I can't control.
Okay, guys, so plateau. There's a couple things. I'm going to release a video probably tomorrow or the next day. It's called Keto on Steroids. Extreme weight loss. If you're interested, type in the comments below that you're interested, guys. And also share the video. And subscribe. But the point is that there's a couple of things in there that I'll mention about things to handle plateau. In keto, we recommend 5% of your total calories being carbohydrates. And that comes out to like 20 to 50 grams. A lot of people don't calculate that. You should. And there's a website, an app called Chronometer. Chronometer. No, it's not that. What is it? I'm drawing a blank now.
We don't know right now.
Chronometer, Chrome something.
You mean the sponsors?
Yeah, and I'm completely spacing out.
That's embarrassing because they're going to be at the Keto Summit.
It's a great app. But anyway, you can look it up. We'll tell you in a second as someone's looking at for us. But here's the point. The point is that if you want to get yourself into some hardcore fat burning and kick this thing in hard gear on steroids, what you want to do is you want to bring your carbs down to 0. That's extreme.
That's on steroids.
Yeah, because what's going to happen, that's what controls, everything. It's like your carbs. Bring them down to 0 for a while and just kick it into high gear. So you have to calculate carbs. So that means really watching all these little things that you might be exposed to. Okay, that's one thing. Number 2, you want to go to 1 meal a day. That's hardcore. Mm-hmm. Now, prolonged fasting is another topic we're going to talk about. You can do that once a month or once every 2 months where you're going like 48 or 72 hours. We will be doing a video on when you do that, but it's a real great thing to jumpstart things and really kick things in high gear. Now, the other thing you want to do is with your fats. There is a sweet spot, a magic number of amount of fats per gram that if you go over on an average person, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about like telling you the exact number. But roughly speaking, about 75 grams of fat. If you calculate your 75 grams of fat and you go maybe a little under that to maybe, 60 to maybe even 50 grams of fat, but keep it below 75, your body won't just be focused on the dietary fats to burn those into ketones. It'll focus on your own fat and start tapping in to your reserves and start holding those down. These are just kind of hacks or strategies that you can add to bust through that the plateau that you're standing on the edge. All right? All right, so that was kind of a long answer. Oh, Chronometer.
Chronometer.
Sorry about that, guys. At CRONO meter, okay, .com. It's a great app, and it gives you all this data. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Karen.
We're going to have some really cool exhibitors.
Yeah.
At the summit.
Yeah.
Which is October 13th and 14th.
Keto Mojo is coming.
Mm-hmm. There's a chocolate company, a baking company.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next Friday I will have the list of all those guys so we can give them a shout out.
Yeah, U.S. Wellness Meats is coming.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool people coming, and actual people too. Cool people coming
you guys
from around the world.
Yeah, there's 30 or 40 people now from all different countries, Singapore and Ireland and.
Those are just people out of the country. We have a lot more than 30.
Hundreds and hundreds. No.
Yeah. So we have 30 people coming to the summit.
No, from other countries, I said.
I'm just kidding. Just pulling your leg there, Karen. So we also have a lot of great speakers, too.
Oh, yeah.
Really awesome, top-notch.
Really incredible.
And yeah, I'm putting some serious time into the content as well, so hope people appreciate it because I'm putting some hours in.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Okay.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fun, and there's going to be great demonstrations as well. I mean, the thing is, like, people are coming because they want information. There's going to be a lot of stuff covered in the summit that you haven't talked about yet or done videos on.
I'm trying to withhold the information, and I don't know, should we, within this hour, give away a VIP ticket or not?
I don't know. Does anybody want a ticket, a free ticket? Would you come? I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, let us know.
You're on social media. Just say, yeah, you would come. Your name and your location.
Yeah, how about that?
So type that in, yes. you know, if nobody's interested, we won't give one away.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Well, let me go to Michelle while people are typing in. Austin, Texas. You had a question, Michelle. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Berg. Hi, Karen. I'm
Hi.
great. I love y'all's program. Thank you so much for doing this. Okay, I'm going to make this really quick. I'm 55 years old. I was a pre-diabetic on metformin, and Dr. Berg, I saw your video on metformin, and I'm so glad I'm off of that. I have chronic high blood pressure to where, I mean, it was like 235 over 115, where it pushed my spinal fluid up into the back of my brain. It was horrible. I had 5 DVTs, and I'm on Xarelto. Everything came from me drinking 6 packs of cherry Dr. Pepper each day and eating nothing but Cheez-It crackers. So, yeah, I've just been horrible, but I've been immobile with that. I've had 5 blood clots in my legs. That's why I'm on the Xarelto. It just made me feel better. My comfort food was eating that crap. So anyway, I have the adrenal type body. I stay in fight or flight mode. Watching your videos, I am now on 1 meal a day. I do take the cod liver oil. I ordered your wheatgrass. I have the cruciferous food that you have. I have the adrenal kit that you have. I also have your digest formula, the gallbladder formula, the D3K2 formula, and the 3 minerals. And I just ordered your yeast, the fortified yeast, and the electrolytes, because I have like 17 bottles of pills here with like a vitamin D, vitamin B5, vitamin B1. I'm taking like 17 million vitamins, and you just put them all into this electrolytes and the yeast. So I think I can replace a lot of that with that. Yeah, my question is that I still stay in fight or flight mode. I still can't sleep, but I've only been on this for 4 weeks. But I've gone from 238 to 204.
Whoa!
I recently bought. Yeah, I've been doing great. This is super. And it's all it's all around my middle because of the adrenal type. Skinny legs, skinny arms. And I also got that plastic hand thing that you have, to where you can, for relaxation, where you sit in the points. Yeah. My question is, my blood the blood ketone meter is going from normally I'm on 1 meal a day because I'm just not hungry, and I think it's because my stomach just stayed kind of small because I didn't eat big meals, and I didn't eat all the time. So when I'm trying to eat 1 meal a day, it's hard to get that down. But my blood meters have gone down to 78. I started out at 130. So that my insulin resistance it's improving 100% from your videos. What I'm concerned about is the blood ketone meter. I'm staying at 3.6 when I'm eating. Like yesterday, I was just not hungry. I'm also doing the apple cider vinegar, and I have to do it like in 1 shot. I can't sip on it for an 8-ounce glass.
So your ketones that went up to 5.6, right?
5.6, yeah.
Okay,
and I don't know if that's the problem.
So let me just explain something, okay? So you have all these other indicators. Wouldn't hurt to check with your doctor to make sure you're not diabetic, which I really don't think you are because everything's improving. But the point is that you're still in a good range. I mean, what she's talking about is kind of like when the ketones go too high, you can develop what's called ketoacidosis. But that happens when your number hits 10 or more, not 5.6. You're still in a good range. I mean, you're doing some hardcore things, which your body is burning ketones now, and you have a lot of them going through the system. 5.6 is just a hardcore good number. I don't think it's a dangerous thing at all. You can check with your doctor if you're concerned, but you have all these other good factors. The thing that I was thinking as you're rattling off all the nutrition is the one that I think you're going to like a lot for your stress and your flight or fight is the nutritional yeast. Take like a lot of those and just take like 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, and you're going to just be like, oh, I feel so good. that massage tool, you start watching my video on the stress webinar and start doing that on the different points that I show you with the nutritional yeast and, of course, the electrolyte. I think that's going to chill out your body to the point where you're going to sleep better. You're going to come out of the flight or fight. Then all you need to do, Michelle, is give it more time, because you've created some damage. You're in the stage of making up the damage. That's all you're in, right? You're just making up the damage, and that takes time, pulling yourself out of the hole. But I think you're going to end up being really, really healthy in a few more months. So give it more time.
Okay, good. So I have someone here who says they have a lot of nervousness.
Yeah.
And a lot of stomach acid. How can I get rid of it? Now, this person doesn't say that they're doing keto or intermittent fasting. They also don't note any supplements they're taking. So you could assume that they're not, but maybe they are.
So nervous and stomach acid?
Acid.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm thinking you have not enough acid, and you're getting a backup in the system, and that comes from not enough acid, which then will create
burping and heartburn.
Oh yeah, it creates a whole series of issues. You can't absorb minerals and calcium and magnesium, so you're going to be nervous. So I would add some apple cider vinegar tablets, or just apple cider vinegar, start acidifying the stomach. That should help you, and then take some minerals before you go to bed. But I would also take vitamin B1 and nutritional yeast. That's specifically for nervousness. I mean, you're going to just feel so calm when you take that. That's what I would do if I were you.
Okay, good. Now, there are also videos on how to use the apple cider vinegar. Obviously, the bottle of Digest says how to use those tablets. But we've come across in the last couple of weeks a couple people who overdid it on the apple cider vinegar. So you want to mention your recommendation?
If you take it and you don't feel good, then don't take it, because your body might have gastritis and inflammation of the gut. So you want to take it
3 times a day.
You don't have to take it. Yeah, with the tablets?
No, or the apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I take it in the morning. You can take it like with meals, but you just what I'd rather have you do is have you take it a few times, see how you feel, determine if you feel better, take it more. If you don't, take it less. But it's one of those individual things that we don't know how much you need. So take it and see if it helps you with a straw. I take mine in the morning with the water and electrolytes, and I just like that after I have one little thing of coffee. So, but the apple cider vinegar will definitely increase your sensitivity for insulin, and so it will help lower blood sugars, and it's just really, really good for you. I want to go to Jake from Connecticut. He's been waiting for a bit. Hey, Jake.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Just had 2 quick questions. So, the type 1 diabetic, I was diagnosed as 285 pounds. I'm down to 220.
Wow, great.
Thank you. I do bodybuilding and powerlifting. My question was, I've been doing protein shakes and amino acid drinks to try and recover, and my blood sugar has been really high in the morning.
Yeah.
My question for you would be, what would you suggest to avoid those high blood sugars in the morning, the fasted blood sugars? What could I do?
Yeah, I think this is a good question, because you're trying to recover from the workout because of the exercise and the workouts that you do, and you're breaking down muscle protein. Honestly, I would not take anything around the workouts. Why? Because your blood sugars are a problem. That means you have insulin resistance, which means you have high insulin, which means that the protein that you're taking, your body's going to reject it. It's not going to absorb it into the muscle too well. It's going to lower your ability to recover. So you want to fix insulin resistance by doing a little longer fasting. And then you can put some branched amino acids into the mix during the meal. Okay, that's really important. The other thing for muscle physiology is you need potassium. So that would be another good thing to have your big salads. So I would focus on the quality of the meal when you're eating, but totally fast, work out. I mean, you could take like maybe some like B1 before your workout. Take some B1 and some nutritional yeast, and then work out. I think that'll give you more energy and more recovery than anything else, because that will help protect the mitochondria, the energy cell. But don't consume any protein around the workouts or sweet anything, because you want to lower the blood sugars. That's what I would focus on, Jake. Thanks for your call. All right, Karen, who won?
Okay, yeah, it's 12 o'clock. So there are so many people. There's two things that I want to do. Announce a winner. I want to give a ticket on YouTube and Facebook.
Wow.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. There's so many, and there are so many people. I was overwhelmed by the responses of people that said yes, they definitely would come if they got a free ticket. And I was wondering if it would be okay with you if I mentioned the special program.
No.
Okay. There's a special program that we're not going to talk about that you may or may hear about at some point. I'm just saying. Stay tuned. Stay.
Okay, who won?
Okay. We got to hang up. So I'm going to pick Mario Nardozzi from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right, great.
Woo-hoo!
Awesome.
That is from YouTube. Mario, you are the VIP ticket winner today. Pay attention because after I announce the next one, I'll tell you what to do. And on Facebook, randomly, I am picking Cynthia from Harlingen, Texas. Woo-hoo! Okay, now Mario and Cynthia, you need to email Dr. Berg at drberg.com. And in the subject, you need to put VIP ticket winner. And Maria, who's going to receive that, you have to tell her your contact information. And she is going to get certain information from you verifying you are who you are and all of that stuff. And she'll arrange the free ticket for you. But that's exciting.
That's awesome. So we're going to... Guys,
and we have to really go, but stay tuned. There's going to be other ways to get free tickets. I'm just saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Stay
great
tuned.
weekend.
Good to see you. Bye.
See ya.